So today we are looking at artificial intelligence versus machine learning. And the objective is that we are going to be looking at what they are and how we can take advantage of them. And then we are going to be looking at some of the career opportunities that are in the AI ecosystem. You will discover that some of them are also in the data ecosystem. Like I said before, that building a career in the data ecosystem is also like a background or a foundation in pursuing a career in the AI ecosystem. What is artificial intelligence? AI is a broad field of computer science, and it focuses on creating systems, that is, machines, basically computer systems, which are capable of performing tasks that normally require human intelligence. So in a simple way, AI is basically a broad field which focuses on how we can replicate human intelligence by a machine or with a machine. Now, when we want to talk about which aspects of human behavior or human performance do we want to replicate, one of them is listening. Can we build a computer that can listen like human being? Can we build a computer that can learn the way human being learn? Because one of the major characteristics of a human being is the ability to learn. So some of us here now, we have a degree, some of us have like 2, 3, 4 skills, and here we are still learning this particular skill, and we are able to do that because we have a brain that can learn at any time and have the capacity to acquire new information that are different from the ones it was exposed to before. Ability to solve problems, and then perception, how to perceive our environment and respond appropriately. Language understanding, and then decision making. There are still more, but these are the foundational ones that those pioneers of AI wanted to replicate with a machine. The goal is that they may not be able to replicate everything, but at least can we achieve some parts, and as time goes forward, we can start thinking of how we can build a machine that can actually perform all of these tasks and even more. Now, based on the criteria that I presented in the previous slide, we can measure the level of a particular AI system based on how much of those capabilities can it perform. So we have what is called artificial narrow intelligence. Artificial narrow intelligence means that the machine intelligence is specific to a particular task, but it cannot go beyond that task. For example, as far back as 1997, IBM, some of us should know IBM, is one of the most popular tech consulting firm in the world. They are even like elder brother to Google, Microsoft, and co. So IBM, as at 1997, was able to build a system that beat the best chess player in the world as at that time. The best chess player in the world at that time was Kasparov, a Russian grandmaster. He was the champion in the world, and the IBM system was able to beat him in a chess game. But that particular algorithm that beat Kasparov could not be used to teach medicine. Why? Because the intelligence of that system is narrowed to chess playing, and that is the meaning of artificial narrow intelligence. The algorithm that is recommending videos on YouTube and co can do that, but if you ask the algorithm to come and prescribe medication, it cannot do so. So it means that the algorithm is intelligent, but its intelligence is narrowed to a particular task. Now, before I move forward, majority of the AI systems today are in the range of artificial narrow intelligence. Now, there is the second level, which is artificial general intelligence, and that is what is called AGI. If you are a follower of AI, you will be hearing the word AGI, AGI, AGI. And one of the questions is that when are we going to achieve AGI? When are we going to have a system that will fulfill that definition of AGI? And that takes us to what is AGI? AGI basically means that the capability of a system that is equal to that of a woman, so that you can have a system that can do everything a woman can do when it comes to intelligence. But how do we measure this? And there is a word called generalization. Generalization means that how can a single algorithm learn generally and also perform tasks generally? And that is what makes human brain to be unique. Like I said, some of us 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, we were in the tertiary institutions learning one course or the other, and we were able to learn it. Today, we are learning a new thing, and yet we are able to learn it. One of the legends of AI in the world, a man called James LeCun, who is like a Nobel Prize winner of in the field of AI. He usually uses this example. He says that if you have a 14-year-old girl, that in the morning you can teach a 14-year-old girl how to ride a car. He said in the evening you can teach her how to cook a particular soup, and probably late in the evening you can also teach her how to do some calculus. Now, the question is this particular person is able to learn different tasks at the same time. And over 3 months, you will discover that this same girl will be able to ride a car, this same girl will be able to cook, this same girl will be able to do some calculus. So, which means that human brain is unique in its ability to learn different tasks at the same time or at different time, and it will be able to generalize all these ability to perform and solve problems in the real world. So this is what AGI actually means. Now, many people usually say that AGI is when we have a system that can perform better than human being. That is not what AGI means. AGI actually means that we have a system that can learn so many tasks and perform so many tasks. An average artificial narrow intelligence in the market can beat human being. Some of us here, we have used something like ChatGPT and co before, and you can see that ChatGPT is not artificial general intelligence. It's still towards artificial narrow intelligence, even though it's moving towards AGI, yet it's not AGI. But you can see that ChatGPT can beat an average person in so many ways. Like the IBM system that beats the chess champion is better than an average human being. In fact, it was better than the best of the best chess player, and it is still not artificial general intelligence. The reason I'm taking my time to explain this is because these are the terms that causes confusion in the industry. And if you can know them, it's going to really make you a real expert in the industry. Now, let's talk about artificial superintelligence. This is a system that is better than human being. And today, there are a whole lot of debates in the world about should we go for artificial superintelligence? Because some people say that if we can achieve artificial superintelligence, then we are at a risk of machines ruling us, that we will become a slave to the machines. But that is something for the future. So in summary, when we talk about AI, the capability of AI can be in form of artificial narrow intelligence, which is where we are now. Everything you see on the internet, ChatGPT, anything, still falls under artificial narrow intelligence. Then the goal is towards artificial general intelligence. And like I said in the previous slide, some of those things must be ticked in order to say that this particular system qualify for AGI. Now, let's look at machine learning. So what is machine learning? You know, I have spoken about machine learning a lot in this course. We spoke about it when we are dealing with the 4 levels of data analytics. However, I will still make mention of it today. Machine learning is a subset of AI, and it focuses on the development of algorithms and statistical models that enable computers to learn from and also make predictions or even make decisions based on data. So the goal is that if human beings are human beings because they learn from their environment. Why do I speak the way I'm speaking? I'm speaking like this because I was raised in a particular environment. Assuming I was raised in Europe, I won't have this intonation. So, which means that the way a human being behaves is a reflection of what they learn from their environment. So, which means that human being learns, and that is what makes us to be superior. So, the goal is that can we also make machine to learn? If we want machine to do what human beings do, then we have to make them to learn. And then comes a whole world of knowledge called machine learning. And the goal is that let us use data to teach machine and let us see if they can learn. For example, that particular system from IBM that beat Kasparov was trained using machine learning. It used machine learning for training. So they trained it from some data from some chess games and co. And based on that, the system also was able to learn how to play chess and then was able to play it, make decisions, and was good enough to beat the best man in the world. So that is how machine learning is. Now, the point is, if we want to make machine to learn, there are 2 categories, which is the commonest ones, even though there are other components. What is called supervised learning. Supervised learning means that whatever the machine is learning, we are actually supervising it. So we say, okay, machine, we want you to learn the difference between cat and dog. So we give a data that belongs to dog, and we put in front of it, this is dog. And then we put a data that is for cat, and we write in front of it cat, so that the machine can look at millions of pictures of dogs and know that this is a dog, and also looks at millions of pictures of cats and know that this is a cat. And by that, we can come next time and put a picture of a cat in front of the machine and say, what is this? And the machine can use what it has learned in the past to make a decision that, oh, this one is a cat and this one is a dog. Now, we have unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning just means that we just put the pictures of different animals in the world and give it to the machine. And we tell the machine to be trying to find a way of differentiating, or if you can see a difference among those animals. And that is what is called unsupervised learning. There is something called reinforcement learning. And reinforcement learning is one of the ways through which we learn. Do you remember some of us here, how we learned how to cook? You do it the first time, your mom or your dad said, oh, don't do it like that. So you are corrected. And that correction is a feedback secondary to your initial action. And the next action you are going to make, you can put into consideration the previous feedback and make better decisions. And as you are making better decisions, a time comes, you become an expert. When you are teaching mathematics, where you are supposed to use multiplication, you use division. And your math teacher, if you were in those days, like 20 years ago, the man gave you some cane, and then you didn't forget that kind of, you didn't make that kind of mistake again. That is a form of reinforcement learning. And machines are also trained like that, in which we say, okay, make the first decision. And it makes the first decision, and we say, no, you are wrong. This will be your decision. And then we say, yeah, make it again. And the guy makes it again and say, okay, good, you are correct. And over time, the machine gets better. So some of us who have been hearing AI, these are the science behind all those things that you are seeing. Now, in conclusion, machine learning is a subset of AI, and the terms are often used interchangeably, but they are not the same thing. Machine learning is just a component. Machine learning and AI are general purpose concepts that can be applied to all aspects of life. So AI is like electricity. If I ask you now that, what is that particular thing, a reasonable project that you want to do in this world today, that you will not need electricity directly or indirectly? There is none. So AI is like that. And believe me, AI is just starting. And that is why anyone who take this course, I want us to really make it a point of responsibility to actually empower ourselves in this direction. Because, to be sincere with you, AI is going to change the face of the earth. And some people are going to benefit from it, and some will not. So, let's go. The question is this: how can you leverage on AI and machine learning? So the first way is that you should be proficient with some of the popular tools. Everything you do in this world, there is almost like an AI tool now that can be useful in that direction. So you should, don't be among those people. Don't be like some of those professors that it was when their students started harassing them before they started learning how to use computer, because they thought computer was for the children. You see, now, anything you do, ensure that every AI tool that has something to do with that industry, you start learning them. That is how you can be following the wave. Some experts say that eagles are able to fly at the highest level more than any other bird, because they don't just fly against the direction of the wind, they fly in such a way that they make wind, the force of the wind, to elevate them in the sky. And that is what we should do with AI. You should follow the AI trend in such a way that every popular tool, every useful tool in your own industry, you are proficient with them. If you can use ChatGPT in your industry, start using it. If you are in HR, you are in education, you are in anywhere you are, you see any form of AI tool that is useful in that industry, you should be familiar with them and be using them and be skillful with them. Because you will discover that some of the tasks that are taking you 5 hours, you can actually do them 15-20 minutes or even lesser. I write Python code, and believe me, some of the codes that will take me 4 or 5 hours to unravel, ChatGPT generate them in less than 10 seconds. I don't say 10 minutes, 10 seconds. So if I want to do a project now, I am like 30 times efficient with ChatGPT. If I want to do some programming and code, you see, so that is how it is. It is now a reality. In the past, some people were saying it will not work, it will work. Now it has worked. It is a matter of how much you can take an advantage with it. Good. So you should go to YouTube, go to the internet, and find all these tools and let us become proficient with them. Now, another way to go forward is that if you are, some of us here are still young, and you can actually make what I call the bold step. And what is the bold step? The bold step is actually building a career in the AI ecosystem on top of your current career. So, assuming you're a pharmacist, and as a pharmacist, you build a career in the AI ecosystem such that even though you can work as a pharmacist, you can still participate in AI projects, machine learning projects that have to do with pharmaceutical concepts. So which means that you can actually be working for a hospital as a pharmacist and still be a consultant for projects that have to do with AI in pharmaceutical industry. These are the people that will take one of the biggest advantage in the future, because you will not just be a beneficiary of the tools, you will also be among those who are actually driving it. Good. But this is a whole work, but it is something that some of us here who are still young can achieve. Now, the third way is to leverage AI in our business. Now, with AI, some of the business that will require you to employ 20, 30 people, with 5, 6, 7 people, you will achieve it. And that is why I always tell people that some people ask me that, how can somebody benefit from AI? And I usually tell them that there are 2 categories of people who will benefit immensely from AI. Other people can also try, but those 2 people are the domain experts. That is someone who is like a pharmacist, an engineer, a doctor or something that is a domain expert already, but also now adds AI technical skills on top of that skill. And then the second category of people are the business owners. Because with AI, you are going to do a whole lot than you can achieve without AI. So these are the ways through which we can actually leverage on this new technology and this new innovation. And for every one of us, please, I want us to really work on this. I deliberately put this particular topic in this program so that as we are also thinking of learning new things moving forward, we are not just sidelined from the main trend. Even for data analysis, even as a data analyst, I still achieve more analyzing data using some AI concepts than doing it myself. Like I said, if I'm doing some data processing in Python, at times some of the code that we have to be taking 2, 3, 4 hours for me to be able to generate them and make them run well and handle data well, those ones within 10 seconds, ChatGPT will generate it. I will just copy it, and then I will just look at how I can synchronize and integrate it into the project. And let me say today, there is other side where people think that AI will replace people. Believe me, AI will not replace everybody. AI is going to replace so many people, but the people that AI will replace, you know them, they are those people who are doing like boring task. You know what boring task is? Task that does not really require you to think. It just come today, do it the same way. All those boring tasks, in fact, in Europe and America, majority of them are already automated. And with AI automation, it's even worse. So, but who are those that AI cannot replace? Like I said, the domain experts. For example, I was speaking with one of my clients one day, and he is a guy who works with SQL. So I told him, I said, you use SQL in your company, and do you use ChatGPT to generate your code? He said, yes, so that we use it, that is very efficient. And the guy said, but it is not always correct. And that is the truth. Though you cannot, if you don't understand the domain, you cannot use AI there, because AI will not give you everything. So even for you to enjoy AI as a programmer or anything, you have to be a programmer yourself. So that is why AI is not going to replace everybody, but it's going to replace so many people. In fact, some jobs today, in the next 10, 15 years, they are going to become a story, because those titles will not exist again. But at the same time, AI is going to create new jobs. And let us look at them. Now, career path in the AI ecosystem. You know, I told you about data science, and our platform, we are actually doing our program in such a way that if you can finish the first 5 courses that we have now, it is a foundation for data science. And by next year, when we add our machine learning to it, you can actually gain a skill set to become a data scientist. In fact, the platform is designed for data science and machine learning. Data science and machine learning are the 2 primary reasons why the platform is created. Some of these courses we are doing now are just to set a foundation for those grants. Now, like I said before that data science has one leg in machine learning and it has one leg in data analytics. That is why when somebody is a data scientist, the person is an expert in the AI ecosystem, and the person is also an expert in the data ecosystem. He can take job in the data ecosystem to derive insight from data and all those things. And at the same time, he can also get a job in the AI ecosystem to build machine learning models, to train them and to evaluate them. And so some of us who may have interest, believe me, by this time of next year, we should have been able to complete our first data science program. We'll start from this one, but that's a story for another time. So I'm just telling us that if you want to build a career in the AI ecosystem, data science is still one of the best options, and is also a favorite because it is that particular one that you can actually enter from different directions. Some of the other parts that I'll be mentioning are going to be exclusively for some of the people in the tech industry and co, so that it will be difficult for somebody who does not have a tech background to dabble into them. However, data science is that one that anybody from any background can dabble into. So you can move from any background to data science, and from data science, you can choose to either focus on data ecosystem or to focus on AI ecosystem. So then machine learning engineer, I think you should know what this is too, that machine learning engineer is a data scientist who also understands some software development. So if you become a data scientist, is just one step into becoming a machine learning engineer. AI research scientists, these ones are the people who actually build the algorithms that make AI. When we say what AI, who are the people who make AI? They are the AI scientists. So we have, in the technical world of AI, there are two people. Those who use the algorithms to solve problems. Those are the data scientists and the machine learning engineers. They take an algorithm, they use that algorithm to train data, and then they develop a model and they solve problem. Those are like users. But there are people who produce the algorithm, and that is what they call the AI research scientists. And these are usually for people who have a very strong background in mathematics, and they are usually from PhD level. So if you're a young person, you want to be an AI research scientist, you will have to go to university, study computer science, or probably do some courses in mathematics, physics, and co. Then go and do some masters in AI, PhD in AI, or machine learning and co. If you do a PhD in data science or PhD in statistics or in machine learning itself, you can still become an AI researcher. But before you can say I am an AI research scientist, you must be at least a PhD level. So this is for those who want to run, like saying, to the end of the world when it comes to AI. AI software developer. So these are software developers who actually want to specialize in developing software platforms or softwares that will carry out some of the AI processes. So when machine learning engineers, data scientists, when they build a model, that model has to be integrated into a software. And the question is, who build those software? Those are the software developers. So software development itself is a whole world of itself, of its own in the IT ecosystem. However, some developers says they want to focus on building softwares that will perform AI tasks. Good. Then we have NLP, natural language processing. Natural language processing is a whole world of its own too, and it's also a branch of AI. And it deals with how we make machines to understand, to process, and to also make decisions with language. So some of us now, you can talk to your system and your system will start typing it. That is the work of natural language processing. Some of us know about machine that translates. So some softwares now, if you are speaking in English, it can translate it to another language. That is natural language processing. So some people, that is what they specialize in. So they are AI experts who focus on how we can make machines to understand language and to also process it effectively. Computer vision engineers. Computer vision is how we can make computer to see the way human sees. So this is also a very big industry in the AI ecosystem. But I won't be speaking so much on this one. But let me give an example. In some companies, in some countries, there are cameras, or let me use autonomous driving car. So if you have an autonomous driving car, which are in use in China already. So there are some companies in China now that if you want to use their car as taxi, you are not going to be seeing a driver inside it. You just open the door, enter the car, and no driver. You just sit down, just say, I'm going to so and so, and the car starts moving. So, and the car will land you to your destination. So how does the car do that? It's because the car can see. How can the car see? There are cameras. So those cameras have algorithms in them that are able to recognize objects. They can see that this is a coming vehicle, this is a gutter, this is a stone, and maneuver their way and drive like a normal human being. So that is like an example of computer vision in practice.